Hi guys, Steve here, and on this video I'll be showing you how to get the artifact of theStrong from the ice cave solo. Now this is the longest and hardest cave on the map, so this isn't going to be easy, but I've tried to do it in a way to cost you the least amount of resources. The cave entrance is at 29.4 by 32. I won't be using any buffs or explosives, just a shotgun but mainly a compound bow, as I'll get most of my arrows back. If you're doing this for the first time, then bring multiple sets of your gear, because you will die on your first run. And also, lots of sleeping bags. All the sleeping bags overlap each other when you die and want to respawn, so you need to name them in groups to know which one you're spawning at. Rename these first bags outside as one. I've just left a storage box there in case I want to store any junk. One thing you can do to make things easier is to buff yourself with soups and meals. However, I'm not going to bother on this run to show you that it can be done without it. But one thing I would advise you to bring is plenty of blood packs, as you can use them if your health gets too low. Now because this cave is so long, and there's hundreds of nasty high level beasties in there, it would take hours for me to fight my way through. So on this cave I'm going to do things a bit different to try and keep the length of this video shorter. This time I've killed everything in there, but at different stages I'm going to show you how I killed them. This is the only way into the cave, and it's low down so you can't bring any large dinosaurs in. It takes us to the starting chamber. After a week of trial and error, the best way I found to defend myself against the ground and air creatures is to build small defensive bunkers along the way. A 1-block square building like this will only protect a solo player against bats, so if you're going down in groups which will be quicker, you'll need to scale up all the bunkers to protect your group. And if you are building these, don't put any doors or windows on them, as you don't need to, and everyone else who wants the artifact will want to use them as well. When I first got in the cave, there were bats blocking my way. So shoot them, then when they get close, crawl under the gap. A bit sooner than that, to be honest. This bat did get stuck in there, however they are able to chase you through to the other side, so don't expect to be safe in this area. And as you can see, the creatures in this cave are really high level and dangerous, so if they swarm you, you're gonna die. After you've cleared out all the bats that you'd aggro, start building your bunker. Place it somewhere where there's good visibility, so you can shoot any creature surrounding you in the immediate area. And don't build it too close to the rock face, or it'll stop you placing a wall and ceiling there. I'm using window frames, as I thought if I'd put a wall there and the bats are on the other side, I wouldn't be able to shoot them. With the ceiling placed, the bunker's finished, but on this first bunker I added a door, then removed it later when I realised it'd stop other people using it. If you build these bunkers, everyone will need to use them, so don't be a dick and block access to them. Once it's complete, go forward and aggro the bats back to the bunker. It doesn't matter if a group of them come now, as a bunker will keep you safe. You'll need to crouch down in the centre of a building, otherwise the bats will be able to reach you through the windows and ceiling. The water in this cave is freezing cold, and it'll badly damage you if you touch it. Yes, you can run and jump to the other side, or use grappling hooks, but the easiest and safest option is to build a permanent bridge. That way you can just walk over it every time you come down here. With a bridge built, you can now move deeper into the cave. That takes us to the second bunker. I built it here as it's got a good view of the surrounding area. The strategy you will be using throughout the cave will be as follows. You build a bunker to protect you and have somewhere safe to fight. You then aggro the creatures back to that bunker and kill them. Keep moving forward and doing this until you reach a good position to put another bunker down. Then continue doing this until you're able to reach the artifact. When the bats get here, they'll circle around the bunker. Wait a short time for them to settle, then start killing them. Some will fly away when they're low health. And again, you don't need doors. I removed that one later. Don't forget to get your arrows back. Slowly move forward, then aggro them back to the safety of your base and kill them. Once you've cleared the way, move forward and create another bunker. Then when those bats respawn, you can fight them here instead of having to drag them back to the other bunker. You could make do without this one, but stone virtually costs nothing, and it just makes things easier to have it here. Again, build a cheap stone bridge across the water. I've put some sleeping bags down here, as things will start to get harder now, as you have to deal with wolves. It's the second lot, so name these two. The storage box is for me to put any backup items in case I get killed, and the two standing torches will keep me warm. Now the deeper you get into the cave, the colder it will become. Obviously you'll need to bring fur armour, but later on even that won't be able to protect you from the cold. Yes, you can bring high quality coloured fur, but that'd get destroyed on your first run, so just bring many sets of the cheap stuff until you run it once. This bunker here is to mainly protect you from bats, even though wolves and yetis will be below us. Only aggro the bats close to this cliff, as you'll need to build a bunker below to protect you from the ground creatures. You might want to wall off one of the sides, because if you don't stand directly in the centre of a building, the bats will fly behind you and bite you in the bum. Once you've killed the bats around here, make your way down the ramp to the left. You have to put a spike barricade here to stop any wolves or yetis getting past. That leaves you free to fight any bats in a bunker above. The spikes at this bunker are to stop the wolves and yetis getting up from the side. And to fight ground creatures, the bunker must be extended to 2 blocks wide. I originally did it 1 block square, but it didn't go too well. Unlike the bats, half the wolf's bodies get inside the bunker. And when there's a lot of them like this, they can attack you from all sides. They'll knock you out the back. When you're inside, they'll just keep chomping on you. Ended up having to test and evolve the bunker, so it could protect me against wolves, bats and yetis. Bats seemed easy enough, as it was just a bigger version of what I've already built. When you aggro the creatures, just shoot one type at a time. First the bats, then the wolves, then the yetis. And unless they patch it, only that type of animal will come and attack you. It just makes things easier if you're dealing with one creature set at a time. Run back to your base over the bridges that you constructed, and stand directly in the centre of your bunker. If you're off by the slightest margin like this, the wolves will move around and find a way to bite you. That torch stand is blocking me from going in the centre, and only after it's destroyed and I can stand there that I'm safe. Now I can start killing them. This bunker worked just, but I wanted to test for Yetis before I changed it. So I wasn't quite ready Yeti. Again, kite them back to your base. I needed a fire somewhere in there to keep me warm, but the centre was still the best place for it at that moment. The ceiling hatches were good to let me shoot the Yetis in the head, but their melee range was even longer than the wolves, so I had to change the base and put spikes around it, so they would guide the creatures to the entrances I want to shoot them at. When I finished that, I moved forward and cleared the space ready for the next bunker. The spikes now guide all the creatures to the one entrance that I can kill them at, and with the front and sides blocked, none of the ground creatures can get to the side or behind me. I'll give you a look around to show you how I've arranged things. The fire's at the back, and the spikes are blocking any way that the Yetis and wolves can get up, so I don't have to worry about them getting in behind me. That's a safe, secure bunker, so now we can move on to the next one. I've built bridges connecting all these ice islands, and yes, if you've got a grappling hook you can go directly up that cliff, but if something goes wrong and you've left all the creatures down here alive, they may come back to haunt you. To be safe, I would still build a next bunker, just in case you get trapped or need it. Again, I've surrounded this one in spikes so the ground creatures can't get in from the sides or back. But make sure you leave enough opening so you can get in and out. The Yetis are stuck on the spike so it's easy to kill them. When they hit the ground, wait for them to come up before you fire. Up to now, all the bunkers had open hatches in the ceiling, but if there are a lot of bats, it is possible that one might fly through the hatch diagonally, so it's probably best to have solid ceilings so they can't get in. Let's move to the next bunker position. I'll show you the view from up here. I've placed it here as it's at the end of a long corridor. The first time I got here, I blocked the passageway with a spike wall. That stopped the wolves from getting to me and gave me enough time to build this bunker. This building only has to be 2 towers deep because the spikes funnel all the creatures into one entrance. When you've done building, remove a blocking spike wall, then kite all the creatures back to your bunker. When you've cleared away, it's time to move to the next one. Everything gets bottlenecked into one entrance. As it's a long passageway, block it off again ahead with a spike wall, then build your next bunker. Again, it's a 2-block same design as the previous one. Once it's done, again go forward and clear everything in front of you. There will be a lot of Yetis, bats and wolves. Once all those have been cleared, you can move on to the next position. I had to redo the spikes a few times because we were blocking the gateway. There's water to the left, so head to the right. You can pickaxe and destroy those green crystals if they're blocking your way. This takes us to the next encampment. When I originally got here, I took the blocking spikes down and put new ones up just past where the bunker would be built, then dragged the bats back and killed them. I put a storage box there to keep any backup items, and once the bunker was finished I redid the spikes to block the way up. I'll show you what I did below for the next stage, and we'll get to that after this. This is the same 2-block building, and it still has an open roof until what happened next. The bats came up in and started to swarm all over the bunker. I start to fight them. And it's then I see 2 dropping in from a ceiling hatch. That's when I was positive I got in from there, so I would have a solid ceiling on all the bunkers. I respawned at a previous sleeping bag, then made my way back to where I died. There's no way you'll be able to get in there with that many, so attack them, then bring them back to the other bunker. Everything I'm using now is a spare equipment I stored in a large storage box. When you're safe in this bunker, you can kill all the bats and then go and take your stuff back from the other one. Next you have to kill all the wolves down there. They find it hard to get up to you because of a ramp, and if they did you'd be safe in the bunker anyway. With those killed, we can move down a ramp to the next location. No doggies are going to get past that. I've put a foundation there because it's hard to jump up to. Again, it's a 2-block bunker design, but I had to spread the spike walls out because it's a larger gap. Do both the sides, plus also the back so I can't get in. I only had hatch ceilings on me so I couldn't put solid ones in. When you're finished, go forward and kill everything to the next location. More fighting for ages, so let's skip that. There's a ramp up to the left, and if you didn't have these bunkers you could go up there and grapple hook down to the other side, but we don't need to do that. Go left at the totem thingy. And we get to our next main camp. Without any fire, it's 24 below here, even with 40 fortitude. If nobody's been here before, the green crystals naturally block the path. That lets me build the bunker in safety, but if it's been opened up, use spike walls to block it. Here you will need at least 2 fires, a storage box to keep your backup stuff, and lots of sleeping bags. I've broken through the crystal with a pick, and I've put spikes on top of the bunker to direct bats into the entrance. Because this is where it gets really dangerous. Go forward and aggro the first lot of bats. The wolves will come as well, and the few bats. Then more bats. Until there's loads of them. Just stay in your bunker and keep killing them, because you're going to be there for some time. Next you're going to have to kill some more wolves and yetis. Then finally, when they're all dead, go forward and bring back some more. I shoot one little bat, but it drives the rest batty. I thought I'd killed most of them in there, so that cave would be pretty empty. I was slightly wrong. Look at them all! There's hundreds of them! Luckily my bunker was well designed and I managed to kill them all, but it did take ages. After all were dead, then I moved forward again. Those bats must have filled this room. Wolves were waiting for me in this passage, so I blocked it off. Then targeted the bats, then brought them back to the other bunker. After I killed them all, I completed this outpost. The same design as the others. The spikes on top work quite well. Again, go forward to the next position and bring back everything you want to kill. Once that's done, move forward into the next cave. You might have noticed that here was a red drop. It's a bit tricky to get, but it's definitely worth it. I'd advise building a platform up to there so you don't drop into the water. On this occasion, I got an apprentice Giga Saddle blueprint. But let's carry on, as we've almost made it. Take the passageway straight ahead. And we reach our final bunker, at long last. When you first get here, block off the path with a spike wall. Then aggro the bats back to the other bunker and kill them, take down the spike, and then do the same again with a yeti. After the entrance is clear, you can build your final base. The same design, but this time you need 4 torch stands and 2 fires to keep warm. And don't forget your sleeping bags, because you don't want to start again at this stage. And for the last time, go forward and bring back all the creatures ahead of you. There'll be yetis, and lots of bats. Then when you've killed them all, your path is free to collect the artifact. I'll just show you this from the front in case you want to build it. Do not drop down there. The artifact's in front of a big monkey statue. You now have the artifact of theStrong. If you carry down one dimorph on your shoulder, you can put an extra artifact in that. I'm going to quickly run back now to show you the direction. Because it's took so long to get down here, a lot of creatures, especially in the early parts of a cave, would have spawned back. If you try and run past them, it's likely that they'll block the way and kill you. The safest way to get the artifact out of the cave is to fight and use the bunkers in reverse order to get out of here. But that does take a lot longer. It's up to you, run or not. because you'll be using the bunkers in reverse, you might want to put spike walls on the other side of your base opening as well, so you'll block all the creatures and funnel them into a doorway on your way out. And keep in mind, when you're placing these bunkers, you're building them for everyone to use, so no blocking them off with doors as they'll just keep getting destroyed. And it's also a good idea to put a metal sign outside the cave, to tell people why the bunkers are there, how to use them and not destroy them. Yes, it does take a while to set all these camps up the first time, but you only have to do it once, and after that, every run to get the artifact's a lot easier, so in the long run it's more than worth it. Remember, I've cleared all the creatures just so I can show you the way out again quickly. You'll never be able to run this far without respawns blocking the way and trying to kill you. From this cliff you can jump down to the island below. There's no point going around the other islands to the left. It took a week of testing to work all this out, and I completed it the first week that this cave had been put in the game. But I put the other videos out first, because this one will take over a week to edit. Almost there. Made it. And that's how you get the artifact of a strong solo. That's the technique I use. I can do it by myself and it costs very little resources. Another method you could try, but it'll take a long time to get everything ready, is to breed an army of super dimorphodons. We're talking 5 or 6 generations plus of breeding, then weeks to level them all up, which honestly would take a lot longer than just building those bunkers. I'll just get them to the entrance. They're a bit of a pain because some of them get stuck in the walls. If you see my Dimorph Swarm video, you know how effective these can be. They have been nerfed since then, that's why you've got to breed higher level ones. Because they're small, they can fit under the entrance gap and get inside the cave. You need a creature that can both attack the flying bats and the wolves and yetis on the ground, so the dinosaur you have to bring will need to fly. I'll skip forward a bit. I've turned the game sound right down, as some people said the Dimorph Swarm's deafening. On single and small groups of animals, the Dimorphs do pretty well. But when there's a large group of them, things can get quite messy. I send my Dimorphs in, and at the start they do quite well. I'm standing way back because I don't want to get attacked by the wild beasties. They still look like we're doing quite well. Then not so much. So if you want to clear the cave this way, you're going to need more Dimorphs, and you need to give them a long time to rest and heal up. I'm going to have to do a runner because the wolves are coming after me. I'll escape with my single Dimorph still alive. And that's about it. If you're looking for any other artifacts, you can click the links on the map, and I will take you to a video of that cave. I hope this video has been helpful, and if it has, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the links of other videos at the end, and hopefully I'll see you again. Goodbye.